doubters will find an infinite amount of excuses to continue to waste their time not doing what they really want to do, when whole time they're wasting time thinking about the multiple ways the thing that they want to do is not going to work. And it blows my mind. They're not getting any younger. It's all good to be a doubter when you're a teenager. You know, we doubt what our parents say. It's all good to be a doubter in college. We doubt what our professors say. We doubt the patriarchy. We doubt the matriarchy. We doubt social media. It's okay. We doubt everything. And now we're in our 30s. We got kids. We doubt pursuing guitar on the side. We doubt doing that side job where every day we train Muay Thai with the boys in this underground warehouse. Now we're in our 40s. Now we doubt investing our money in crypto. Now the kids are becoming teenagers, so we don't want to put them in a situation where they see their parents trying to do something and fail. We just want to look like we got it all together to our friends and our kids, because what looks successful and what looks normal on the outside is much more important than how we feel.
Eating to live, yeah, I'm living to eat. Catch me enjoying vegan recipes. Fiend for chlorophyll.
Greetings, it's your boy Gartatia. Today I'm talking about an extremely exciting topic that I've been meaning to gather information and just share it with you all. And it is the 5 types of people in life. If you're one of these people, hopefully this video gives you the tools you need and the know-how and the perspective that you need to get to the next level so that you can go from 0 to hero. I know I use that term a lot, but it's gonna all make sense. So what are the 5 types of people? First, the 5 types of people, I've kind of worked out the 5 different categories based on my experiences, based on what I've been in some of these categories, based on just looking around my environment, my friends, my loved ones. So these are the 5 types of people I've noticed. Now, disclaimer, before you get super into it, know that none of these types of people are like something set in stone. They're not like, I wouldn't say personality types. They're not like things that, you know, you're born with and it's locked in. It's like someone throws away the keys and flushes it down the toilet. It's not that. You can go through any of these levels. Some of these levels you might not want to go to, but there is fluidity. There's movement between these levels. So giving you all hope. So if you do identify with some of these levels, which may or may not be ideal, just know that you don't have to stay stuck in these levels. So what are the 5 levels? The 5 levels of people that I've observed in life are: number 1, you have the doubters. Number 2, you have the dreamers. Number 3, you have the dabblers. Number 4, you have the doers. And number 5, you have the defeatists. So these are the 5 types of people. So in order to better explain this, I've come up with this idea of art. Hopefully this concept will make all of these different types of people make more sense. So when we look at art, where does art come from? So art starts off, we all know art, it starts off as a vision. It starts off as an idea, something that's not in this 3-dimensional, where we can 5 senses touch, sense, smell, see, hear. It starts off somewhere almost spiritual, in another dimension. That's where ideas come from. Ideas come from the person. Ideas come from a source, right? And what happens with art, after it's from this kind of idea stage where it's inside a person, inside their spirit, inside their heart, inside their soul, they feel the need to express it. So art is nothing more than the expression of what someone has in here to a format where the people can process it out there. That's all art is. So that person with the idea, with the vision, with the need to express themselves, they say, okay, how do I show the world my expression? Because I think it's beautiful and I want to share it. So the second stage of art, it has to go from the idea stage to it has to go to the implementation stage. So the implementation stage has to happen through a vehicle. Think of the vehicle as, if you're like a painter, a vehicle would be the paintbrush. If you are a coder, the vehicle would be a computer. If you are some people call music art, who would have thought? If you're a musician, the vehicle would be, depends what kind of musician you are. If you're a freestyler, the vehicle would be your mouth. If you're a recording artist, the vehicle would be the microphone. If you're an instrumentalist, like a guitarist, classical violinist or something, the vehicle would be your violin or your guitar. Essentially, the vehicle is the instrument you use to go from idea to display, from idea to showing people, implementation to showing, right? Now that's the intermediate stage. Now the final stage of art, it's not the final stage of art, but as far as this example goes, the final stage of art, the part that we kind of all do it for. Not all of us, the process is the process is amazing. However, a lot of times as an artist, as someone with a great idea, almost nothing is as satisfying as the feeling of your art finally coming into fruition. The months or maybe years of the input and the inspiration and the muses and the constant long nights of staying up late trying to finish something, not be able to go to sleep because you have all these ideas flooding your brain, getting feedback from people, starting back from the scratch, constantly improving your design, whatever. Artists know how complicated this stage can be. So getting to the final stage, I call it, so it goes from idea, it goes to implementation or vehicle, and the final stage is canvas. So getting to that point where your art is on the canvas, right? That's where that's the thing that you're putting your art on. So it's not the final stage, but it's the stage where it's the where, it's the what you're putting your art on, if that makes sense. So now that we know the three stages of art, idea, vehicle, and canvas, the place that you put it. So for example, the place that you put it, that could be a whiteboard. If you're an instructor, if you're a physicist, if you're an engineer, that's art. You like to write your ideas down on the whiteboard. The whiteboard would be your canvas. If you're a painter, if you're a, I don't know, experimental painter, or what are these new modern art expressionist painters, your canvas would be an actual canvas. Maybe in ISO. I don't know how to say that word, in easel. If you're a guitarist, your canvas would be the air, because the air carries the sound of your music. So your canvas is technically the air or the place that you do it at. Your canvas could be in the studio. Your canvas could be on a stage. Your canvas could be in a train station. So your canvas is wherever the where that you are putting out the what. So essentially, if you want to break this down further, art is basically going from the what, that's the idea, to the how, that's the vehicle, to the where, or the to who, and that's the canvas. So now that we've understand the three stages of art, let me tie this back into the 5 types of people in life. So starting with doubters, and using the art analogy, typically doubters are people, they have the idea. A lot of times doubters even know how to do something. And like the craziest thing, a lot of times the doubters even know where to start. They even know where to perform the idea and who are the type of people who would be most receptive to the idea. Oftentimes, and it's beyond me, doubters will even have more knowledge, have read more books about something than people who actually do the thing. A lot of times doubters put a lot of research into things that they're curious about. But the thing about doubters is they also spend an equal amount of time looking at how everything could go wrong. So the reason I count these people in, they're still in the category because they understand that there are ways that they could improve in life. They understand that there are solutions to a lot of problems they have and other people in their lives have. They understand that it may even be possible. They might even understand that it's probable. However, because doubters are so risk averse, because doubters are so scared of rejection, because doubters are so scared of looking a certain kind of way, of appearing like a loser, they're so scared of failure that even that huge burst of energy, even that huge interest in success, or even that huge interest in taking over the world is overcome by their fear of failure, by their fear of discomfort, by their fear of having to change or having to throw away everything that they've believed in up until that point, having to throw away a belief system that doesn't serve them. They would rather continue to compare and contrast while the time they're not getting any younger. Now, it's all good to be a doubter when you're a teenager. You know, we doubt what our parents say. It's all good to be a doubter in college. We doubt what our professors say. We doubt the patriarchy. We doubt the matriarchy. We doubt social media. It's okay. We doubt everything. And now we're in our 30s. We got kids. We doubt pursuing guitar on the side. We doubt doing that side job where every day we train Muay Thai with the boys in this underground warehouse. We doubt that. And now we're in our 40s, and now we doubt investing our money in crypto. Now the kids are becoming teenagers, so we don't want to put them in a situation where they see their parents trying to do something and fail. We just want to look like we got it all together to our friends and our kids, because what looks successful and what looks normal on the outside is much more important than how we feel. So doubters will find an infinite amount of excuses to continue to waste their time not doing what they really want to do, for the reason that they actually think they're gonna waste time doing the thing that they're scared to do, when whole time they're wasting time thinking about the multiple ways the thing that they want to do is not gonna work. And it blows my mind. So doubters, if you're a doubter, please take a seat, take a sit down, realize that time is your friend, time is also your enemy, and realize that every second you spend overthinking, thinking about any way situation could go wrong, you're stealing time away from your future self achieving that goal. You're stealing time away from your future self being in that position to realize those dreams that you deep down have, right? So lose the doubter mentality and at least be this next level I'm going to talk about. So doubters is like, you don't want to be a doubter. That's the worst. However, it is easy to make the transition to go from a doubter to a dreamer. Now, the second person is a dreamer. Dreamers are people, a lot of times, just like with the art example, dreamers will have an idea. They'll have a good idea. So they don't have like all the other stuff like doubters. Often, like, logically, doubters are better off logically. Like they often have the idea. They often have the know-how and the who. The problem with doubters is just the belief system is bad. Dreamers often, they have the idea and they're super passionate about the idea. A lot of times dreamers just don't put enough research into the how they're going to do it and the where they're going to do it. And a lot of times dreamers will try to do something. They'll try to do something their way and try to like break rules. And the thing about dreamers is every once in a while, a dreamer will get lucky. Every once in a while, a dreamer will have this big dream of wanting to go viral on YouTube. And instead of having to do with like a lot of YouTubers have to do, which is study the algorithm every day, do what a lot of YouTubers have to do, which is every day downloading vidIQ, looking at the videos that have over 1,000 clicks per minute, do what other YouTubers have to do, spending 10 hours, sometimes more hours, into what the thumbnail design is going to be than the actual video. A lot of times the dreamers will have a great idea, just do it for fun, and their video blows up. And these are the people, and it's very rare, these are the people who they call them the overnight success, in my opinion. I don't believe that they're still not overnight successes, but I feel like if there was a type of person, these would be the closest people to it. A lot of times they just get lucky. They have a dream, they didn't follow all the rules, and they still somehow are able to have some measure of success. So these are the dreamers. I would say it's good to be a dreamer, but there comes a time where you have to put in the work. So only like I would say 0.1% of dreamers become successful. Most dreamers have these dreams of grandeur, have these crazy dreams of how they're going to own a restaurant one day, have these crazy dreams of how they want to be president, have these crazy dreams of how they want to get out of their neighborhood and be more than just be a basketball player, be more than just be a sports team, be more than just a rapper. They have all these dreams. However, they don't often have, a lot of times these people are limited by their environment. A lot of times they don't have the right people in their circle who are giving them the knowledge, who are giving them the gems, no pun intended, so that they can get out of the streets, get out of the place that is keeping them ignorant, the place that is keeping them not being able to actually realize that dream to the other side. So I would say most people are dreamers. Most people are dreamers. Most people have ambition, not ambition, but most people have a deep down sense that they have a higher calling. However, a lot of people, the dreamers, they don't know how to execute that. They don't know how to make that dream come true. So these are the people, they have the idea, like if on the artist type point of view, right? They have the idea. However, they don't have the vehicle. They don't know the know-how. They don't have that paintbrush. They don't have that studio mic. They don't have that consulting. And they don't have the canvas. They don't know who their dream is going to benefit. They don't know where their idea, their solution is going to be the most effective. So these are the dreamers. So a dreamer, again, still better than a doubter, because at least you're not shooting other people down when you're a doubter. A dreamer, at least you're not being negative. It's just you kind of keep trying, but you're doing things, you're trying the wrong way. You're working harder, not smarter. So I would put dreamers in this category. They're not putting any work in like the smart department, but they are thinking about things and they try things here and there. So these are the dreamers. Now, number 3, we're getting better. We're getting better here. So if you can go from dreamer to dabbler, if you can skip this step, great. However, a dabbler is still better than a dreamer and is much better than a doubter. So what is a dabbler? So a lot of people are dabblers, right? A lot of people they don't have the idea, right? Or most of the time what a dabbler is, they do have the idea and they do have the vehicle a lot of times. So these dabblers are people, they have a great idea and they even have, somehow they're privileged enough to have resources at their disposal to make that idea happen. So say it's somebody who wants to go into film production. A dabbler is somebody, they'll know somebody with a camera who is willing to help train them so they can get good at the camera. And it's like perfect, they hop on an opportunity. So a dabbler is, they have the idea of wanting to be a production guru. They have a friend who does production who is willing to help them learn. So guess what? That's a dabbler, and they'll do it for a while. And they might even get okay at it. They might even get good at it. But what does a dabbler do? A lot of times a dabbler doesn't have the stick-to-itiveness. A lot of times the dabbler doesn't have the grit. A lot of times a dabbler doesn't have the complete and utter overwhelming motivation to continue to do something. They're usually easily distracted. They're usually easily frustrated. They usually give up pretty fast when they see like, yeah, I like this, but my boy sets a party on Friday night. Yeah, I like this, but this girl, I'm gonna see where this goes with this new girl I'm dating. Also, I feel like she could help skyrocket my success because her family's really rich. So I'm gonna see where this is going. I really like this, but I'm just in a time of my life where I'm trying to go spiritual. I'm trying to look at different ways to bring me happiness. So if you hear these a lot from people after like they were just literally inboxing you to like, bro, repost my story. Bro, listen, if you want me to blow up, don't ask me why I'm not rich yet. Did you repost my story yet? Did you like my and comment my post yet? These are the people, they go really hard at that shit for like a year. I'll give it even 2. And the worst case is like dabblers, like a 6 months dabbler or something. And they just fall off the face of the earth. They do something else completely unrelated, not like a next level or something slight, like not like they started off focusing on cinematography and now they just do photography. Like that's still related. So I wouldn't call that a dabbler. That's just someone who found out kind of what they wanted to do along the way. A dabbler is someone, say they started like doing boxing or Muay Thai and they just go from that and now they're just doing yoga. They don't even do Muay Thai anymore. Or a dabbler would be somebody, say they learn how to play guitar for like 6 months to get girls, and then after they got a girlfriend, they just stop playing guitar altogether. Now they fucking play video games. They're still using their fingers, but it's just on the joysticks instead of the strings. So that would be a dabbler in my opinion. However, is a dabbler better than a dreamer? I would say every single time. Why? Because a dabbler, those skills never completely go away. Say a dabbler spent 2 years playing guitar. Even though he's not an expert at guitar, it'll be easier for that dabbler. If he ever wanted to go back into guitar, it'd be much easier than from starting from scratch because he has some experience. B, a lot of times, if you are a dabbler, the one benefit to being a dabbler, they call these like jacks of all trades. A lot of times you'll be very relatable. A lot of people are, I would say most people are dreamers, but I would say the next populous area is a lot of people are dabblers. So you being a dabbler, you trying a lot of different things will help you build rapport with people. It will help people more like, you'll be more relatable to people. People will understand where you're going better. People will be able to feel your journey and feel your story more. You'll just be more of a, I don't want to say full stack person, but you'll just be more of a well-rounded individual. You'll be able to have conversations with a different group of people, a wide group of people. So I'll give it to dabblers for that. Otherwise, if you're on self-improvement, a lot of people get stuck in this dabbler phase. You don't want to get stuck in this dabbler phase though. You want to, it's okay to try something and then lose interest in it and then try something else. It comes to a point though, at that point where you want to give up is often the time that if you continued, that's what takes you to the next level where you build mastery. And it's, I'm learning now the most successful people in the world, they're that successful a lot of times, not because they know a lot of different things. Usually it's just, they were just tunnel vision and focused so heavily on becoming an expert in one thing. And then once they became an expert, everybody kept coming to them for their expertise. Everyone kept coming to them for consulting. Everyone kept coming to them for the know-how, because you became so good at that thing that they can't do it themselves. So even if they don't like you, even if you all had a bad history, even if they're actually an adversary of yours, because you're the only person who knows how to do that, because you put in the time, because you put in the sweat, blood, and tears, because you did those long nights and early mornings, because you were walking in those rooms where you felt like imposter syndrome and you had to muster up the courage to talk to these executives and head honchos, because you put in this work and surpass the stage of where most people give up and stay in the dabbler stage, you've now built a legacy for yourself to the extent where you don't even have to put in that much work anymore. If there's like a curve of effort, you put in so much effort, you put up so much effort over a long period of time, right? And then when you reach that top point, so if the effort's here and time is here, when you reach that top point, the effort doesn't have to be as much, right? But then you're still getting results because you've already built up to that plateau, right? So you want to build up to that plateau, but then you don't want to fall off the plateau. And this is where we go into the next level of people. Well, actually, before that, so you're a dabbler. That's good. Dabbler, good, but please, and it's actually easy to go from, it's the easiest to go from dabbler to the next step I'm going to talk about, which is a doer. So what is a doer? A doer is somebody who, they have the idea. So going back to the art example, doers usually have a great idea. They have a way. They are privileged to make that idea happen. They have that paintbrush. They have the microphone. They have that guitar. They have the vehicle to implement that idea. And the next thing doers have, a lot of times doers have a where. A lot of times doers know the who are going to be receptive to that idea. A lot of doers have that canvas, that platform. A lot of doers, or at least are working on that platform, they have that location, they have that stage, they have that beachfront where they playing the guitar for tourists. They have that connection at the college radio station where they get to come on every Friday and do their podcast. They have that coach in high school who gives them the keys to the gymnasium where they can come in and give speeches, motivational speeches, because they want to be a motivational coach to the high school kids. They're given that platform to practice the idea or implement the idea that they have. So this is the difference between a dabbler and a doer. Is a doer, a lot of times they are seeing the fruits of their labor not only being reaped by them, but being enjoyed by others. And a lot of times people say, oh, just stay disciplined and stay consistent, which is great, which is amazing. A lot of times what helps that process of staying disciplined and consistent is seeing other people actually get value from the services you provide. And that comes from knowing having a canvas. That's so important. A lot of dabblers skip this step because it's hard. A lot of dabblers skip the part of finding an audience because it takes energy or it requires a skill set, interpersonal skills. That dabbler may not be that good at that. That dabbler is willing to put in 16 hours destroying their fingers on guitar to play like, who's a great guitarist? Bon Jovi, I don't fucking know. They can put in 16 hours for that, but then can't put in 2 hours researching their audience, researching what other people in their same niche are doing so that they can make relevant videos so that the people they're targeting will actually watch the videos and support. It could be a video, watch the product they're making, enjoy the service that they are providing. A lot of dabblers don't want to do that because it takes extra work. And personal story on like me being a dabbler, a lot of times we can be dabblers, like anyone can be a dabbler in different areas of life. Like certain doers in certain areas are dabblers in other areas. I was a doer in college of the gym. You couldn't tell me not to go to the gym. You couldn't tell me not to eat fucking 3 or 4 servings at cafeteria lunch every day. You couldn't tell me to leave the cafeteria because it's closing in college, and I was still there, eating water and stuffing myself with chicken breast so I could have those macros to build the muscle. You couldn't tell me I couldn't sneak the countless cheeseburgers and pizza every night out of the cafeteria so that I could have another midnight snack before I go to bed, just getting more food in my system to build more muscle. You couldn't tell me not to do those things because I was a doer in that area. I saw the results in that area. I know the where. I knew the where. I knew the where I was going because I saw the progress. However, I was a dabbler in so many other areas. I was a dabbler in school. How many times did I contemplate, I'm not cut out to be a mechanical engineer. I'm not good enough. I failed dynamics 3 times before finally the 4th time I took it and I was like, I'm no longer going to be a dabbler in something that I'm passionate about. I'm going to do whatever it takes. If it means I fail this 5 times, if it means I fail this 6 times, if it means I have to go to the teachers after hours, if it means I have to stay in the library until 4 a.m., if it means I have to get 3 hours of sleep every night, I'm going to do what it takes because I really want to be an engineer. I'm not a dabbler. And I'm going to do what it takes. And what did I do? I got an A in dynamics. All it takes is that switch, going from a dabbler to a doer. See, the doer has an identity. The doer's identity is not, I'm trying to do something. The doer's identity is not, maybe it'll work out if I put in the time. A doer's mentality is, I feel like I should do it this way. A doer's mentality is, I'm this. I'm an engineer. A doer's mentality is, I'm a public speaker. A doer's mentality is, I'm a health expert. A doer's mentality is, I am a guru and I will lead you to where you need to go to get you the results you want to have. That's a doer's mentality. Whereas a dabbler's mentality is, yeah, I know a thing or two, or I can help you out. I might be able to do that if this situation and the stars align and all the shepherds rally up all the sheep in the forest and we get a blue moon and there's an eclipse on Monday, then that'll happen. No, it's like a doer makes things happen where a dabbler waits for things to fall in its lap. And a lot of us are dabblers in life and doers in other areas. A friend of mine, I would call him a doer / dabbler. And I say this so IIT, little short story, college, one of my friends actually had him on a podcast last week. This man made 5 different apps in college. And this is why the where part, so that canvas aspect of being a doer is so important. And he made 5 different apps in college, each of them not really going anywhere, each of them failing, each of them not bringing the results that he planned to have, each of them not garnering the audience, not getting those downloads that he thought. And every time it didn't work, back to the drawing board. Each time the message being, every single, I was like, what was the problem? Why weren't people downloading apps? This idea, he even gave me the app. I used the app and it was a great app. To this day, it's still on my phone. And I was like, why aren't people using this? Like, the system's jinxed, or it's rigged or something. It makes you want to give up. And I love his attitude towards. He was like, no, it's not rigged. It's just I wasn't putting in the time to look into my where. I wasn't putting in the time to find my canvas. I wasn't putting in the time to see the to who am I garnering most of my supporters from? Where are they coming from? And as a computer science person, a very logical, tech-minded person, it almost takes a different part of your brain. I feel like logic and math and numbers is more left brain. It takes more right-brained approach to networking. It takes a more right-brain approach to socializing. It takes more right-brain approach to building a tribe. And it's often the most educated people who suffer the most with building a tribe, right? There's people with PhDs and they have to work 2 or 3 extra jobs to support their lifestyle because they're not willing to be creative. They're willing to work hard studying or work hard researching and work hard in a lab. A lot of times they're good at that, but a lot of times they don't want to put in the time to be open-minded and socialize and learn how to interact with their audience. And that's something I struggle with, and that's something I still struggle with. However, that's going to take you from a dabbler to a doer. And it's one of the most important things. And going back to my friend, he's finally learning now the importance of finding a where, finding a who to, your solution is going to be the best suited for. And now that he's got that figured out, we are working on a business relationship, and our product is going to be amazeballs. But stay tuned for that. Top secret. Anywho, so yeah, go from dabbler to doer. Now, here's the thing about doers, though. It's all great to be a doer, right? But here's where the last type of person comes in with doers a lot of times. And this could be the worst type of person you want to be in life. And it's actually the most heartbreaking person. It's a person that I'm at risk of being. It's a person that everyone is at risk of being this person. And this person is a defeatist. So what happens? How does a defeatist get made? A defeatist happens when typically a doer. So it's somebody who had the idea. It's somebody who had the vehicle. It's somebody who had the canvas. They had that vision. They had that big dream. Say they're an artist, they're expressionists. They had that paintbrush. They had all the Adobe, they're digital artists. They had all the Adobe tools. They had Adobe Photoshop. They had Adobe Illustrator, all the programs. They had all the subscriptions to all the master classes, to all the stuff, whatever available. Watched all the YouTube videos. And they even had the wear. They even built a considerable following. They even had a lot of people who supported them, cutthroat. They even built relationships with other entrepreneurs, of other people doing the same things they're doing. They've done so much. On the outside looking in, a lot of these people look successful. A lot of these people look like they're happy. A lot of these people look like they live lives that are enviable. However, if you talk to these people, a lot of these people gave up. A lot of these people are the people with dead channels. They can even have millions of subscribers. Look at Robin Williams. A lot of these people are successful, are celebrities. A lot of times, unfortunately, these people are the people on the high end of depression. These are the people on the high end of going down a path of self-destruction. They're almost the opposite of dreamers. They don't dream anymore. They wake up and every day of their life is a living hell for a multitude of reasons. It could be, even though they have garnered, and a lot of these defeatists, there's 2 types of defeats. There's defeatists who've actually accomplished the initial dream that they had, and they're just defeated in life because it wasn't all cropped up to what it's supposed to be. Then you have the defeatists who, they've been doers for a long time. Say these are the people who started making music in like 13 and now they're like 25 and it's been over a 12-year career and they haven't seen that much growth. So defeatists are the people who, fuck it. Yep, so I put in 12 years. All these opportunities are right in my reach, right here. And I hate to put a personal example of someone who I feel has gone through a phase of defeatism. It's actually my own sister. And she's going through a lot, not to put her business out here. She is raising an infant. So I would give her that. I wouldn't say she's bordering on the line of defeatist. because every conversation I have with her, it's always reflecting on the past of how she worked her ass off, how she went to school. You know, she went to school for fashion design, how she started her fashion design company and network of so many people, and how she had accomplished so much and things were going good for a while, and how now things slowed down, and how she feels like she should be here. And I'm just looking at her energy, and it's really upsetting. Not upsetting, but it's really sad to see, because she used to be so much full of passion and so excited about it. And now I just see how now it's almost this low energy. It's almost this aggression and anger even towards other people doing what she's doing. There's like other YouTubers, and the way she talks about them is the whole community is like they're out to get you. Everybody's out for your money. Her view is almost really pessimistic, almost like a doubter. But a defeatist is not a doubter. Like, doubters just doubt things for no reason. A defeatist often has a good reason to doubt things. They try. They work their ass off. Some longer than others. Some become defeatist before others become defeatist. Some become defeatist later on. Some people become defeatist within the first few months. But I know my sister, she put in over a decade into, this dream, almost since she was a teen. I would say 15 years into it, and she's on the verge of giving up. And I just see the way she talks about other people, it's this negative energy of, oh, why them, not me? I put in the same amount of work. It's this energy of victim mindset, like they were out to get me. They just didn't want to see me eat. It's from this mindset of, oh, these people are shady. These people don't want me to win. These people, they're not good people. Oh, they have over 1 million subs. I bet they stepped on people's toes. Oh, this person is successful. Oh, I bet they stabbed somebody in the back. Oh, she's not. Yeah, this person, this, and that. Yeah, they were just mad because my idea was better than. The way they look at things, the way she looked at things, unfortunately, was very from this mindset of scarcity, from this mindset of, I'll never be that thing which I worked so hard to get. So I hate to say it, might as well tear the others down. Might as well say that it's not possible. And she's not completely at that phase yet, because I've talked some sense into her, and she is making videos every day, and I kind of motivated her, and she's on the path. So this is almost not even who she is now. But I say this to say, and there's another extreme version of a defeatist, is a lot of times a defeatist will be so defeated, they'll even to get joy out of turning people away from it. So these are your uncles who would tell you, oh, don't go chase your dreams. You'll never make it to the NBA. Oh, don't do wrestling. You'll never go state. Yeah, I did wrestling in high school. Yeah, all those farm white boys. Yeah, they real racist on the team. They gonna call you slurs, and they gonna jump you and stuff. Yeah, we don't do that. Don't wrestle. The defeatist are the people. In high school, they had their heyday in football, but then they went to college and they didn't have what it takes. So they're gonna tell you, yeah, have fun in high school, play varsity, even go to the nationals. But when you go to college, just have fun. Don't take it serious there, because the way they drafting now, they only drafting people who mix. They only drafting people who play good defense, and you don't play good defense. So a lot of times, a lot of these people, defeatists, will project how they feel. They'll project their defeat. They'll project often the pain that they feel onto others, and a lot of times it's not out of selfishness. A lot of times it's out of protection. They don't want you to feel the hurt and feel the negative emotions they felt when they did try and fail. So a lot of times it comes from a good place to protect your feelings, but they don't understand that in a safe place, that's not where beautiful things grow. A ship was built in a dock, but a ship is not a ship until it's in the middle of the ocean, until it leaves the port. Right? The greatest things in history happen in the most uncomfortable situations. From the most uncomfortable, I think it was literally in Europe during the Black Death. History buffs, don't come for my neck. Don't form a mob. I do believe it was during the Black Death and the Dark Ages where Isaac Newton fucking came up with the laws of physics and shit. I also believe it was during slavery where we had people like George Washington Carver, who invented peanut butter and stuff, which changed the world, all these agricultural processes, literally during the worst times of slavery as well, that we had people like Frederick Douglass, right? We had people like Harriet Tubman doing amazing things, even though the cards were stacked against them, even though their life were on the line. A lot of these people were defeated, were caught, were punished for thinking outside the box, for having a new framework, but still did it regardless, right? And what separated those people from the people who give up, from the people who just automatically just stay in that state of being defeated, and what's the point? Why even try? You know? And it's like the difference is, and there's a secret ingredient that doers have, because a lot of doers would become defeatists if they don't have this secret ingredient. And the secret ingredient, you ready? Want me to tell you? The secret ingredient that that protects you from becoming a defeatist is perseverance. The one quote that I never forget that my dad would always say is, perseverance is the one thing, perseverance makes the impossible possible, the possible likely, and the likely definite. And to this day, I want that literally written on my tombstone. Perseverance is literally the one thing that will keep you not from being a defeatist, and that will keep you unstoppable. If you have perseverance, you will take over the world. If you have perseverance, you will, and I will say eventually, through hard work and through consistency, you will always, not sometimes, not maybe, not if the stars align, not if I get that stimulus check or if that loan comes through, you will, without a doubt, achieve your goals if you don't give up, if you stay persistent, if you have perseverance. And time again through my own life, this aspect has been proven. There was this period of my life, I was in Djibouti. It was Ethiopia, the small village. I was in a new country for the first time. I had just come off from being homeschooled all my life. I was small, skinny. I looked weird. I had like long arms and short legs. I was just awkward. I was in this weird phase of puberty where like my torso was like super short, and I just looked weird. I was insecure. I didn't have a lot of friends. I could barely understand what the local people spoke because they didn't speak English. And I was kind of picked on in school. And for the first month, I did terrible in school. I did atrocious. And they have this thing there, they call it the matric exam in Ethiopia. It's this 10th grade exam, super important, that you have to take to go to, it's like a high school, it's like they call it college preparatory, but it's basically 11th and 12th grade. And if you don't pass that, you can't go to 11th and 12th grade. And my parents had no money, couldn't get me into American school, so I had to pass that exam, or my dreams of I wanted to be an engineer, those dreams would never happen. So what did I do? The first 2 months, I got terrible grades. The first 2 months, I got joked on. I got called stupid. The first 2 months, I got called dumb. The kids would make faces and mock me and pretend that they didn't know me and stuff like that. So what did I do? Every day I would come home. Sometimes electricity would go off. I would open the books. I had to catch up, not 1 year, not two. I had to catch up on 3 years worth of material to study for that exam. It was like the SAT, an all-inclusive exam. What did I do? I asked my mom with the little money we had, take me to the market and let's get these Ethiopian curriculum textbooks. And I played out a system, and every single day I read at least 10 pages a day. I set myself on a schedule, and I worked through those pages, and I worked through those problems. I was terrible at physics, so I said, I'm gonna get to know physics. I was terrible at math, so I said, I'm gonna get to know math. I was terrible at geometry, so I said, I'm gonna get to know geometry. And the more I looked at it, the more familiar I got, the more confidence I felt because I was doing it. I didn't feel confidence because of motivation. I didn't feel confidence because it was sunny outside. I didn't feel confidence because some pep talk my mom gave me. I got confidence through doing the actions. I got confidence through completing those problems every day, from doing it. And sometimes it was bad. Sometimes electricity would go off and I had to get a gas candle and a gas light. Sometimes it was so cold because we were like 10,000 feet in elevation. Sometimes I would stack up under covers in the sheet because we didn't have heats. And there would be so many distractions, like hyenas in the background. And I had to literally check over my shoulder, and I would see them out the window. How's that for distraction? And I would just lock in. I was in this zone. It was this montage moment. And what happens? Day of the exam comes, everybody thinks I'm going to fail. And no, I don't get the perfect score, but I blew a lot of people out. My teachers commended me personally and said, I don't know how you did it. There were people who went to this private elite school for all their lives, and I scored in the top 10%. Not because I was different, not because I was high IQ or a genius. I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. I'm pretty sure I am extremely average on the intellect level. However, all it took was the hunger and the perseverance and just knowing that no one's going to give me a silver platter. I have to go get it. No one's going to bring me my dinner and set the table. I have to go hunting. I have to grab that crossbow. I have to go spotting. I have to do what it takes on the daily to get to where I want to be. And that's the perseverance. And that's what's going to make me continue to be a doer and continue to achieve and continue to take things to the next level. All you need is perseverance. That's all you need. So yeah, I hope this explained the 5 different types of people. If you are a dreamer, if you are a doubter, if you are a dreamer, if you are a dabbler, if you are a doer, if you are a defeatist, just know that there is motion between these different types of people. What helps first is understanding. What helps first is acknowledgement. Acknowledge what type of person you are. And then from there, you can build a roadmap. And then from there, you can build a plan of, okay, now that I know I'm this, how do I get to the next level? And as long as you continue with that progress of forward motion, as long as you continue with that progress of being a pioneer and constantly pushing the envelope, you will eventually get to the stage of being a doer. And there is no stage after doer. Once you're a doer, you can accomplish anything. People try to say, what's after doer, Gartatia? Doer. A doer times 2, a doer times 3. People who are a doer in the beginning of their stages, they will stay a doer for the rest of their lives, right? You never stop being a doer, because once you stop being a doer, you become a defeatist. And once you're a defeatist, right, that's where the journey ends. You actually die when you become a defeatist. And I feel like that's worse than any physical death is the spiritual death. Because at that point, you've killed your desire. You've killed your passion. You've killed the vision. You've killed the dream. And that dream is not physical. That dream starts inside of you. Right? So you need the perseverance to keep following that dream. Hope this video helped. As always, stay hydrated. Stay breathing in that good ass oxygen. And most importantly, stay basic. I love you.